Back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Hey, look, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's super producer Chris.
Well, thank you very much. There's nothing I enjoy more than being able to abuse my position of power as a producer here at the station to talk about the things that I want to talk about, regardless of whether anyone else wants to talk about them. And today, I am joined by thousands of other comic book nerds out there eagerly awaiting the trailer for the new Superman movie. But this is where we are now when it comes to movies in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We have a tease for a teaser. We're going to get to it in a second. But first, it's been a very active week for this new DC universe. And when I say DC, I'm talking about the comic books and the movies and the whole conglomerate like Marvel, not DC, the District of Columbia. Earlier this week, we got our first glimpse of the new poster for the new movie. Keep in mind, we are still months away.
Oh, gosh.
Okay? But in that poster, it was an animated poster, and it had a little music underneath it. You're going to hear that same music in this little teaser. I want you to take a look. I got chills already. Okay, so what I wanted you to listen to is a little sample of that classic John Williams Superman theme.
Yeah.
It's a little stripped down, it's a little orchestral, it's a little slower, but it's in there. So, James Gunn is directing this. You may know him from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He directed things like The Suicide Squad. That was actually for DC.
Yeah.
But he also directed the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise.
Oh, wow.
So all three movies of that. He comes in with a lot of respect for the material and what has been done before him. He has opened up a little bit about what to expect from the character from this movie in some on-set interviews he had done while they were filming back in July and just were allowed to release. The embargo was lifted. One of the things he talked about is why he changed the title. It was originally going to be called Superman Legacy. However, he said he wants this movie to really look forward and not back, and he thought Legacy gave too much of an impression that the movie was going to be focused on the past.
Wow.
This movie is not going to be a full origin story similar to what we saw in Man of Steel and the Christopher Reeve classics from the late 1970s. This is going to pick up right in the middle of the action. Superman and Lois already know each other. He didn't say whether Clark and Lois necessarily know each other in the same way that Superman and Lois do. We also learned about the costume a little bit. If you saw the Henry Cavill version of Man of Steel, you know those famous red briefs. The trunks were missing. James Gunn says he brought them back because the star of the movie, David Cornsweet, who is taking on the role of the Man of Steel, the last son of Krypton, says he thought it would make the character seem a little less intimidating, especially to kids who look up to superheroes. He says, basically, this guy is an alien. He is capable of incredible things, but he's dressed like a professional wrestler. And that would make kids a little less scared of him. So, like I said, stars David Cornsweet. We've got Rachel Brosnahan, who you may remember from shows like The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She plays Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult, who is in basically everything right now. You'll see him on the big screen in Nosferatu on Christmas Day. He's also in a new streaming movie by Clint Eastwood called Juror Number 2. He plays Lex Luthor. We also see some new DC characters like Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, and more, because this movie is going to kick off the new and improved, hopefully, improved DC cinematic universe to kind of rival Marvel, which has a huge head start on them at this point. James Gunn says he is definitely feeling the pressure, and I think that is why you are seeing so much action leading up to this first trailer. They are hoping to really get fans hooked. Can't wait. You'll find out for sure. The trailer drops at 9 a.m. our time tomorrow. The movie hits theaters July 11th, 2025.
Oh, this is awesome. If anybody can do it, it's Superman.
It's right. He's got a lot riding on those massive, brawny, muscular shoulders. and that cape. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm pretty excited to see this trailer. I've already been texting my brothers every single time something new drops.
Yeah.
And like I said, huge Superman fan, so I know I come in a little biased, but I also know. I love that tagline. I do have to mention that as well. Look up is what they've been using. It's on the poster.
Awesome, yeah.
It's also, and if you know Superman, you know, like you said to start the segment, look up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how it's all going to play out because you and I both remember Christopher Reeve, as you made mention of back in the day. That was the bar, if you will.
It really
it's hard to beat that.
It is difficult to beat that. And Brandon Routh learned that lesson back in 2006 when they made that Bryan Singer version of the movie. One and done. And that was before Henry Cavill came in and donned the tights. But it just hasn't gone the way that I think some fans had hoped. So a lot riding on this one for sure. And